Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Derek's Travel Chats. My name is Derek Windsor, and I am your host and also the owner of E&B Travel Services here in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador, Canada. Today, uh, the 10th of June, but it's almost what we call it here now, Juniorary, because 2 days ago it was 28 degrees Celsius, and today we're dealing with 3 degrees Celsius and a chance of snow. So you never know when it comes to June in Newfoundland. But before I move on with our topic, I just want to also take this opportunity to send my sincere condolences to the family of Mr. George Murphy. Anyone who doesn't know George Murphy here in Newfoundland, he was the man who provided us with all the information about changes in gas prices on a weekly basis. And he spent hours and hours of time as a volunteer doing that for the people in Newfoundland. And unfortunately, he passed suddenly on Sunday past, and a big shock to everybody. But George and I first met, and we were part of the, founding members along with some other people of the Consumer Group for Fair Gas Prices. And George was a good supporter of mine as I tried a few political offices and my travel business. And when I was with the Bridges to Hope, he was always there to support me. Dear George, rest in peace, my friend. And as your final tweet said, about your fire, nothing like it. So hopefully there's nothing like it for you again today. So last week marked the first anniversary of my show. And we've had over 40 episodes and of many different industry leaders who dealt with a full range of different destinations, types of travel, and all the things that you would see on a bucket list. So if you'd like to stop in and see those 40 episodes, I encourage you to just go to my webpage, which is right here, or you can stop into my YouTube channel, and I encourage you to please subscribe and get any future Derek Travel Chats as they come available, and get the announcements when we're going live. So hopefully you will do that, and we'll be able to continue to provide you with information about travel and new destinations. Where else are we to now? So a year ago, we were anticipating that we will get back to travel in the fall of 2020, and as we all know, that didn't happen. We had the second wave, and then the third wave in the spring. But I think we're getting closer. I feel really encouraged, given that there's been millions and millions of Canadians vaccinated with their first vaccination, and we're getting to that 75% magic mark for Canadians. I know we are here getting close to it in Newfoundland, and many of the provinces are now starting to open up their borders for domestic travel between provinces. And hopefully, I know the announcement apparently is coming with regard to people coming into Canada, and the relaxing of some quarantine rules that the federal government had put in during the very difficult times that we were going through, both in the fall and in the spring. So hopefully that's a good sign for us getting back to normal, whatever normal may look like in the future. So with that in mind, the whole purpose of this show, is to talk about different destinations, different bucket lists, and it's about hoping that you will take the time to begin to plan your next travel, whether that is traveling domestically to see family, because I know many people have been separated from their families now for almost 15 months or more. Some have been lucky enough that family have been close by, and you've been able to expand into your 20 people and keep your family. But many have experienced that isolation, and hopefully will be able to move around the country at least to start seeing family and friends, and whether it's going from Newfoundland to see family and friends, or people coming here to visit you in Newfoundland and Labrador. Whatever it may be, hopefully with that 75% mark of people being vaccinated and hopefully getting their second vaccination, again, we'll be back to somewhat of normal type of travel. So if you have the motivation to want to travel, we are here to help you in whatever way we can. I know there are going to be lots of protocols. There's all kinds of talk about what you will need as far as your vaccination card and so on. But you'll see all of that information start to come out and roll out. Like I think Manitoba is going to have a card that you will be able to show that you've been vaccinated. And there's, hopefully there will be some more talk on that and information as we move forward and see more and more people begin to move around. But whatever the requirements are for visitors, we hope that that people get to be with their families, because that's the most important thing right now. And speaking of families, just to let you know, this past week, I had the pleasure of, I guess, having my first business transaction for over 15 months, but it turned out to be helping a family with reunification, a family who were refugees in their own part of the world, and we got to see a dad bring his wife and his son, who he had never met, to Newfoundland to live here in Newfoundland. So it was a great week to be a travel agent for me, to be able to help that family come together. So our guest today, the Rocky Mountains of Canada, Canadian Rockies, are just a marvel place to go and visit, to fly over and whatever. But just imagine sitting aboard a nice, comfortable, luxury train and take a trip through the Rocky Mountains on the Rocky Mountaineer. And my guest today will talk to us about what an experience that will be to take that Rocky Mountaineer train and the different itineraries that they have to offer. So I'm going to try my technology now and bring on screen with me. I'd like to welcome Lisa Otterman, who is the Business Development Manager for Rocky Mountaineer in Western Canada. So welcome, Lisa, to Derek's Travel Chats.
Thank you so much, Derek. Honored to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you, and I know we've talked a couple of times now, and I do have a number of guest clients who have been talking about Rocky Mountaineer, and I invited them to be watching us today, so to hear about your itineraries and what Rocky Mountaineer has to offer, in the luxury train ride through the Canadian Rockies. So I know we'll all learn something today about what Rocky Mountaineer is all about.
Excellent. Wonderful. And no, just, thank you so much again for having me today. Grateful to be a part of your travel chat, and congratulations on your 1-year anniversary. That is a huge success, and agree with all your positive comments that you're making. It finally feels like we have the light at the end of the tunnel. And welcome and thank you to all who are joining Derek and I today, those in Canada, and I know there'll be some abroad as well too.
Now, speaking of tunnels and so just a quick question, does your train go through any tunnels in the mountains?
Yes, it does. And that's on our first passage to the west route. We go through the spiral tunnels. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Perfect.
Yeah.
So that light at the end of the tunnel has a real meaning to you, right?
Yes, that's right. Exactly. Fantastic. That's great. Excellent. And hopefully you can see my presentation, my screen's up.
Okay. And I know you have a little video there that I have on the screen too.
Oh, sure. That's right. You've got the little video first. Thank you.
All right. So we'll just give me a chance now to put that up, and then
Video. Excellent.
away we will go. Okay. There we go.
Yes, excellent.
Who can't wait to do that?
Perfect. Just gives you a little teaser of the Rocky Mountaineer experience. And before I begin as well, too, I do have a $25 Starbucks gift card to give away for those in Canada. Writes any comments in, you'll be entered in for that draw by Derek.
Okay. You might. I had something going on with my computer and I hit mute, so I'm not sure if people may or may not have heard that.
Okay, perfect. So let me repeat that then. Great. I have a $25 Starbucks gift card to give away today for those in Canada. And simply just type in any comment and you'll be entered into that draw.
Perfect. So, you can just put your name in there. You can say hello. Tell us about, if you've ever been to the Rockies or whatever you like to put in the comments. And we'll make sure you get that $25 gift card from Starbucks and to enjoy your coffee. All right, so let's get to your presentation. And
fantastic.
All right, let's hit this button here. There we go.
Excellent. Perfect. Wonderful. Well, yes, I'm very excited to talk about train travel in our own backyard in Western Canada and the fabulous Canadian Rockies. So Rocky Mountaineer offers luxury train journeys that showcase some of the most spectacular scenery in North America. The train journeys offer guests a first-hand look at spectacular scenery that is best experienced by train, including rushing rivers, chromatic deserts, local wildlife, majestic mountains, and cliffs. So I know that, a lot of people have heard of Rocky Mountaineer, but they're not exactly sure what we're all about, or perhaps they're not familiar with us at all. So we are not a commuter train that is only about transporting you from point A to point B. We are a luxury rail experience. So it's all about everything between point A and point B. Our trains travel during daylight hours only, so guests do not sleep through the scenery. Guests enjoy a relaxing sleep after day one on the train in a hotel at the midpoint of their journey. And we take care of your luggage for you. Your luggage actually doesn't travel with you on the train, and we deliver it to your hotel. Our trains travel at an average speed of 50 kilometers per hour, or what we like to call Kodak speed. And throughout the journey, our onboard hosts are interacting with our guests, telling stories of the history of the rail line, the communities that we travel through, the flora, the fauna, all bringing it to life. And our onboard hosts cater to our guests' every need and create a friendly, comfortable, and social atmosphere. Our cuisine showcases regional flavors and locally sourced ingredients and is accompanied by a selection of complimentary wine, local wines, beers, and premium spirits, which are served throughout the journey. All you need to do is sit back, relax, and enjoy the amazing scenery, service, and cuisine. So we have 3 core routes in Western Canada. For a visual overview, here is a map of our 3 routes in Western Canada as depicted by the solid green line, blue line, and the solid burgundy line. And I will be talking about each of these routes in more detail. So our routes connect Vancouver with the mountain towns of Jasper, Lake Louise, and Banff. The larger dark blue diamonds on the map are destinations where you either begin or end your journey. And then the white diamonds that you see are the midpoint of the journey where our guests overnight in hotels. Our journeys are taken one way, traveling either eastbound or westbound. So you can start your journey in Vancouver, travel eastbound through to the Rockies, or likewise, you can start in the Rockies and travel westbound through to Vancouver. So let's start with our first passage to the west route, which is a 2-day journey that connects Vancouver to Lake Louise and Banff with an overnight in Kamloops, which is the midpoint of the journey. So you have a choice of 2 destinations to either begin or end your journey. So if traveling eastbound, starting in Vancouver, you can choose to end your rail journey in either Lake Louise or end your rail journey in Banff. Likewise, or alternatively, you can, if you're traveling westbound, you'll choose to start your journey either in Banff and travel through to Vancouver, or start your journey in Lake Louise and travel through to Vancouver. So first passage to the west is our original route, and not only is it our most popular route, it is our most historic. So true to its name, this route is rich in Canadian history. We travel along the historic Canadian Pacific Rail line that connected British Columbia with Eastern Canada more than 135 years ago and pass over the last spike that completed the rail line. We wind through forests, pass by Hell's Gate and beautiful lakes, including the Vermilion Lakes as pictured here on the left, and crossing over bridges, including the Stony Creek Bridge, pictured here in the top right, that is 90 meters above the creek below. We travel through the spiral tunnels, as we had mentioned earlier, that opened in 1909, and they are an incredible feat of railway engineering, traveling through 2 mountains. We'll enjoy fabulous views of Castle Mountain, as depicted on the bottom right, the snow-capped peaks and glaciers of the Canadian Rockies, and the Coast and Cascade Mountains on this route. And now on to our other 2-day rail journey, Journey Through the Clouds. Journey Through the Clouds connects Vancouver to Jasper, which is a beautiful, quiet mountain town with an overnight in Kamloops. So the lake between Vancouver and Kamloops on this journey is the same as first passage to the west. And again, you could start your rail journey in Vancouver and travel eastbound to Jasper, or you can start your journey in Jasper and then travel westbound through to Vancouver. Journey Through the Clouds takes you through the gorgeous landscapes of British Columbia's interior with incredible mountain peaks and glacial-fed lakes. Highlights of this route are Pyramid Creek Falls, as pictured here on the left. The falls drop down over the edge a total of 90 meters, and the falls cascade over 3 tiers and fan out into a pyramid shape before hitting the bedrock below and flows under the railway tracks. We pass by Moose Lake, as depicted on the top right, and it's aptly named for the 100,000 moose in this region. Traveling in or out of Jasper, you'll enjoy the magnificent views of the imposing Mount Robson, the highest peak in the Canadian Rockies, as pictured here on the bottom right. It stands at 3,954 meters. It's so tall that it has its own weather system at the top, so it can be a clear blue sky day, as pictured here, but the top is often crowned in clouds. And Jasper is a gem of the Canadian Rockies with pristine wilderness and wildlife viewing opportunities. Jasper National Park is known for its wildlife, so while we can't guarantee it, there are generally good wildlife viewing opportunities. It's home to moose, caribou, deer, bighorn sheep, and bears. And now for the road less traveled, we have our 3-day Rainforest to Gold Rush route. This is a very remote train passage and very diverse in geography and climate. Rainforest to Gold Rush takes you between North Vancouver and Jasper with an overnight in Whistler and an overnight in Quesnel. So just for simplicity, I'll describe this route traveling eastbound. So departing from North Vancouver in the morning, you'll enjoy the spectacular ocean, fjord, and mountain vistas as we follow Howe Sound into the rugged canyon of the Cheakamus River and arrive in Whistler midday, or anywhere from around 11:30 to 12:30. So that leaves the rest of the afternoon and evening to enjoy the spectacular resort town of Whistler. Day 2 is a full day on the train as we wind our way to Quesnel, passing from forests of the Coast Mountains and blue-green glacier lakes into ranch lands and dry desert-like areas. We follow the gold rush history, which is fascinating as we travel to Quesnel. We cross the Fraser River Bridge, as shown here on the top right, which is 242 meters long and 57 meters high above the river. On day 3, we're going to swing north past Prince George before turning south and traveling southeast to our destination of Jasper. And as we make our way towards Jasper, we'll enjoy the spectacular views of Mount Robson. So this route travels through some really remote areas and has some of the most contrasting landscapes in Western Canada. And if you can't decide on just one rail route, or if you would like more time on the train, you can combine 2 rail routes to form what we call a circle journey. So circle journeys begin and end in the same destination. So for example, starting in Vancouver, and apologies, I know that map's a little small, you can travel through to Jasper on the 3-day Rainforest to Gold Rush route, spend 3 nights in Jasper, do some sightseeing, and return to Vancouver on the journey through the clouds route. We have 2 levels of service while on board our trains, gold leaf service and silver leaf service. So the inclusions are the same for both levels of service. So that is your meals, both breakfast and lunch served while on board, snacks and complimentary alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages served throughout the day, the amazing storytelling and service provided by our onboard hosts, transfers to and from the hotel and train station, luggage handling, and your overnight accommodation. So it really is all-inclusive while you're on board. So let's delve into our gold leaf service first. So gold leaf service features bi-level rail cars with domed windows in the seating area on the upper level where guests spend the majority of their time. And then below in the lower level dining area, we have large windows. Each gold leaf coach has a galley kitchen and culinary team where meals are prepared fresh and served to guests by an onboard host in the dining room. And exclusive to each gold leaf coach is an outdoor viewing platform. And what a perfect setting to be enjoying a glass of Okanagan wine or that perfect cup of tea. Soak up the 180-degree panoramic views and feel like you're immersed right in the mountains with our glass-domed windows. Hey, and our guests do like their wine. We serve 4,000 cases of wine each year. Guests take the spiral staircase or elevator for those with mobility issues to the lower level dining room. And we do have hydraulic lifts to transfer those with mobility issues onto any of our train coaches. 1 or 2 dedicated hosts look after guests as they order from an a la carte menu freshly prepared by the culinary team. For breakfast, guests typically have a choice of 5 to 7 entrees to choose from for breakfast and 5 entrees to choose from for lunch. And here we have the spacious outdoor viewing platform in our Gold Leaf service, which is a great opportunity to take pictures outdoors, hear the sounds outside, get closer to nature, and breathe in that fresh mountain air. And it comfortably holds 10 to 12 guests. And now on to our Silverleaf service. So our Silverleaf service features spacious single-level rail cars with oversized glass dome windows where meals are plated in the kitchen and served seatside by a culinary team member. So really the difference between the two levels of service, Gold Leaf and Silverleaf service, as you can see from this picture, and the previous one, are the coaches themselves. And if guests would like to get some fresh air in our Silverleaf coaches, they can step into the smaller enclosed area that you see on the right there where the door is, and that window is open throughout the journey. It's a smaller space and comfortably holds 2 to 3 people. Our Silverleaf coaches have nice high ceilings and large oversized domed windows. You can see how they curve towards the top of the ceiling to bring the outdoors in. It has a nice, lofty, spacious feel and tends to be, a little bit more casual than Gold Leaf service. It's not quite as formal. So meals are plated again in the galley kitchen and served seatside by a culinary team member. It is the same cuisine as Gold Leaf, but it is a pared down menu. So in Silverleaf, you have a selection of 2 entrees to choose from for your main for both breakfast and lunch. And then let's just talk a little bit further about the culinary delights that showcase regional flavors and locally sourced ingredients, such as fresh salmon, Alberta beef, and we use in-season local produce. So the menu does change from year to year, but to provide you some examples of breakfast that we've served in the past. So for the entree, we've had spinach feta and egg souffle, smoked salmon and egg scramble, blueberry buttermilk pancakes, sunrise skillet, just to name a few. Breakfast is a 2-course meal, and lunch is a 3-course meal with a starter, entree, and dessert. Entrees for lunch have included braised Alberta beef ribs, Alberta pork tenderloin, or Pacific prawn risotto, again, just to provide you with a few examples. And as our guests board our trains in the morning, they'll be greeted by the heavenly scent of our freshly made scones. And as we are a daylight journey only, we operate seasonally from spring to fall. We do not operate during the winter months. As we all know, the days are very short, darkness falls too early. So usually we operate from the end of April to the beginning of October. However, given restrictions in place and due to the pandemic, our season this year has been delayed to July 5th, but we are so excited after 20 months to finally be operating. And again, our first departure of the season is July the 5th. We can't wait. But just back to our seasons, each one offers something a little different. So from the end of April to June, as shown here on the left, the springtime, the mountains are still dusted in snow, making them really pop. The flora and the fauna are beginning to emerge, and not that we can guarantee it, but it's often a good time to see wildlife, especially bears, as they're making their way out of hibernation and they're making their way to the train tracks in search of food. In the summer, as shown here on the top right, everything is lush and in full bloom, and then the days are nice and long, it's warm, and the weather is predictable. And then in the fall, on the bottom right, we have, September and early October. We have the beautiful yellows and golds of the larches, and the salmon run occurs in the fall, attracting eagles and bears. So we partner with the best hotels in each of our destinations. We have moderate level hotels, which are your strong 3.5 to 4-star hotels, and premium hotels, which are your 5-star hotels, like the Fairmont. So we typically, partner the premium hotels with Gold Leaf service and moderate level hotels with Silverleaf service. However, you can choose the level of hotel you would like, subject to availability. So this can be a great way to stretch your budget. If you prefer Gold Leaf service for your train journey, but staying in a premium hotel isn't important to you, you can choose the moderate level hotels. Or perhaps you prefer Silverleaf service, you like the idea of being served seatside and not missing a moment of the passing scenery, but you are celebrating a special occasion and you'd like to stay at the Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel. And just to provide you with some examples, Of our hotel partners, we have the Fairmont Shadow Lake Louise in Lake Louise. And just to let you know, we do partner with all of the Fairmonts in our destinations. And then we have Brewster's Mountain Lodge in Banff, the Chateau Jasper in Jasper, and the Sheraton Vancouver Wall Centre in Vancouver. And those last three are all examples of our moderate level hotels. And the fun continues once you're off the train and in your destination. So we offer curated vacation packages, which are provided in partnership with local tour operators. So choose your 2 or 3 day rail journey, and then we have numerous packages to choose from with all different inclusions. So for example, we have the Icefields Parkway Tour, which includes the Columbia Icefield Skywalk and riding the Ice Explorer on the Athabasca Glacier, a panoramic helicopter tour, a ride up Sulphur Mountain on the gondola in Banff. So you can choose the package with the amount of sightseeing or little bit of sightseeing that you would like to do. And if you prefer to explore the Rockies on your own, we have self-drive options, so you can explore them on your own and see the sights or enjoy outdoor activities in the Rockies when and how you want to. We partner with Avis for our self-drive packages, and the drop fee is included. So the health and safety of our guests is our highest priority. We will follow guidelines provided by the World Health Organization and those of government and health authorities where we operate, which are in place at time of travel. We have introduced an enhanced program committed to health and safety at every step of the journey with us. So given current regulations, guests will be required to wear a face mask at all times on the train, except for when eating and drinking in their seats or in the dining area of a Gold Leaf coach. This includes wearing a mask in shared spaces such as the hallway, washrooms, and the outdoor viewing platform, and also wearing a mask while boarding and deboarding the train and on motor coach transfers. We will meet all physical distancing guidelines at time of travel. So current regulations require that guests be seated with their travel party up to a maximum of 6 people with physical distancing between each travel party. So we will have, physical distancing between each travel party. In the Gold Leaf dining room, there will be barriers and/or physical distance between tables. And all guests and team members will be required to undergo rapid screening for COVID-19 provided by us prior to boarding the train for the start of their journey. And further details will be provided to guests in advance of their journey. Guests will also be asked health-related questions prior to boarding each day and have their temperature taken. And all of our coaches are equipped with high-end filtration systems, which ensure a steady intake of fresh air, filtration, and circulation. The system provides complete circulation of fresh air every 3.5 minutes with bipolar ionizers in the air ducts that will eliminate 99.9% of airborne particles such as bacteria and virus. At the start and end of each travel day, our train interiors will be thoroughly sanitized using an electrostatic disinfectant sprayer. Your train seat and tray table will be sanitized at the start of each day, and all high-touch common areas will be disinfected throughout the day. Safety is always our top priority, and we will update our procedures accordingly and always be best in class when it comes to health and safety. So what I've discussed today may change as our season continues. The information may be updated should regulations, guidelines, or protocols change. And now on to our current promotions. So to provide comfort and confidence to book travel this year, all 2021 bookings for a limited time include a risk-free deposit that is fully refundable up to 30 days prior to travel. So if you're not feeling comfortable as your travel date is approaching, you can have your deposit fully refunded, or if you choose not to take the refund, you can then make 2 free date changes up to and including the 2023 season, so long as you're at least 30 days prior to your travel date. And if there are 2 or more people traveling together under one booking, you can make 1 name change 30 days prior to travel, but just note that 1 name from the original booking must remain. And so I have two promotions to discuss with you today exclusively for Canadians. Now, they do expire tomorrow, June the 11th, but please keep in touch with Derek if these do get extended, which they very may well do. So let's start off with our Canadian resident offer, which is our very first time having an offer exclusively for Canadian residents, and it is our best pricing ever. So for new bookings in 2021 on our Canadian routes only, Canadian residents will receive $500 off per person or $1,000 per couple on our qualifying classic vacation packages. So classic vacation packages are 4 to 5 day packages that include your 2 or 3 day rail journey, plus pre and post hotel. And for all other qualifying packages that are 5 days and up, it is a savings of $1,400 per couple. And you can choose any of our 3 routes in Canada and either level of service, Silver Leaf or Gold Leaf service. And next we have our Fairmont special, and this is the Canadian resident offer with savings on Fairmont hotels layered in. So this is available in Gold Leaf service only and on select packages that have Fairmont hotels throughout the entire package. Now the savings on the hotels vary by package, but depending on the package selected, there is savings of up to $2,900 per couple. And then this amenity has no expiry date on it and is available to you only when you book through Derek. So for packages of 4 days or more, you'll receive a free private car transfer at the start or end of your journey in either Vancouver or Calgary. And again, that is for packages of 4 days or more. And this is combinable with other promotions. Or perhaps your travel dreams have you looking ahead further into 2022. So would just love to mention our global promotion. So this just isn't only for Canadians, it's a global promotion. We have our All Aboard 2022 promotion that runs until August the 27th. So for qualifying packages of 8 days or more, you'll receive 4 free perks. So that is 2 hotel nights, an airport transfer in Vancouver or Calgary, and a dinner at your hotel. And for packages of 5 to 7 days, you'll receive 2 free perks. So you'll receive a hotel night for free and again, the airport transfer. And your deposit is refundable up until December 3rd of 2021. Now today, I did focus on our Canadian routes, but I would be remiss not to briefly mention our new route that we have in the Southwest US that we are previewing this year from mid-August to mid-November, the Rockies to the Red Rocks. So this route showcases the best scenery the Southwest United States has to offer as the train travels alongside rivers, past mountain ranges, and through ancient rock canyons. This is a 2-day journey between Denver, Colorado, and Moab, Utah, with an overnight stay in Glenwood Springs, Colorado. So that's all I'm going to discuss today about this new exciting route. And I think it's going to be, exciting for Canadians once our borders are open. And Rocky Mountaineer has received more than 70 national and international travel awards in our 30 years of business. And in addition to those awards listed here, Rocky Mountaineer was named one of the world's greatest trips by National Geographic Traveler and one of the world's ultimate experiences by Lonely Planet. And thank you so much for joining me today and learning all about Rocky Mountaineer and luxurious train travel in Western Canada and the Canadian Rockies. We have a beautiful backyard. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Excellent presentation, and I encourage anyone to call me to get that special that's exclusive to E&B, so you can get your transfers either in Vancouver or in Calgary. We'll love to make that arrangement for you and throw on that little extra perk so that you can enjoy just a beautiful ride through the Canadian Rockies. One question, there's been a bit of talk with regard to vaccination type passport or identification. Lisa, has there been any discussion with Rocky Mountain with vaccination being
Yeah,
at a
yes.
high point that people will be asked for that?
So that's, yep, certainly something that is on our radar. But at this point, we are not asking for people to be vaccinated, but that could always change in the future. As you know, we'll see what, federal government, guidelines come out with, the travel industry. But at this point, we're not. But again, that can always change. And when it does, we would let our guests know as soon as possible.
Okay. Yeah, I know there are some other companies who are, again, not. I don't know what actually is going to be put in place, because I think Manitoba right now is the only one who's come up with something to do that. But hopefully, I see it as a positive in some way when people have something to carry with them. I mean, when you travel, there's other vaccinations that you have to show to go into different countries, and to me, it's just one other piece of paper or electronically. Actually, today I heard on the news that the European Union are introducing a electronic vaccination identification, so that there's an app you'll have on their phone. So if you're traveling throughout the European Union, you'll be able to have that. You just sign up and plug it in. So to me, all of those things are positive to get people back to traveling and in whatever form that they choose to go. Right. So, but thank you very much for a very informative presentation. Hopefully, we'll see some of some people wanting to cross the borders domestically, and then we'll get some people out into Alberta and into BC and to take one of those itineraries. As I said before, I know I have a number of clients who we've talked about your program and your itineraries, and things have only been delayed for them because of COVID. And now that the opening up is happening, who knows? Maybe they will take that trip across the country, because they also want to see their family who live out that way. So.
Yes, wonderful, wonderful. Yes, yeah. And our trains, they operate until October 7th this year. So we still have time on our side for them to, yes.
All right. Well, for anyone who's been watching, and you can watch this over, this will be kept on the Facebook and on Twitter and so on, and will be repeated on Sunday. So feel free to make whatever comments, likes, or whatever. And then after Sunday, we will select someone to receive that $25 gift card, compliments of Lisa for Starbucks. And we'll then make arrangements to get that to you. So thank you very much, Lisa. We greatly appreciate you being on the show, and look forward to maybe another time down the road, and we'll talk particularly more about the itineraries and Rocky Mountain.
Yes, excellent. Would love that, Derek. And thank you. No, again, just really appreciate the opportunity to be here. Very honored. And thanks to all of those joining us today. And for those who will be listening to it in the future. And as anybody knows too, I'm just going to say too, you're in great hands with Derek. So.
All right. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Okay. Thanks. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the first episode for the second season for Derek's Travel Chats. Thank you very much for joining us. Please tune in again next week. We will have the North American sales manager for Virgin Cruises on with me. And anyone who knows the Virgin brand, that's owned by Richard Branson, out of the UK, and he's got airlines and now cruises and a whole bunch of other I think even spaceships going to outer space. So we'll see what Virgin Cruises has to offer and talk about next week. So please stay safe, get your vaccination, And as George says, there's nothing like it. Take care.